Cryptid Encounters here on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? I'm fixing to share the group's admin of. I hope everybody is doing great. Um, First, I just would like to start this uh, to let y'all know here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters uh, that I do this works to help out my brothers and sisters that are going through situations in life, whether they're being spiritually targeted uh, in any kind of way, shape, or form. I'm here for anybody that might need spiritual help in any kind of way, shape, or form because I know how it is within the balance. I've been doing these works for a very long time. Things that I find out within the balance is this: sometimes people that do not see eye to eye with you, it's not because they're bad people. It's just because they haven't experienced what you've experienced, to have the understanding of the knowledge to know what you've been through. So there's people in this world that they have to be. You have to see something to believe in it, right? For those that have experienced something spiritual, demonic, or anything of that nature, uh, it's something you never forget because it happened to you. You experienced it. When these things happen to you, just like what I've been through all my life, it's like when it happens to you so many times because you have the spiritual gifts of discernment to see it's revealing itself to you. You learn not to fear it. You learn not to give it power through belief, even though it exists spiritually. You know not to give it power, and you know that Jesus Christ is the one that guides you spiritually. I've been able to see this thing spiritually all my life since I was a kid, all the way up to now. So imagine being in a world, living life, but everywhere you go, you see people that are being spiritually bonded, that you could see the unseen, or should I say the disembodied form of the unclean spirit. You want to say demonic spirit that might be temporarily uh, invading the host, and it's like identifying itself to you because he knows what's in your heart. He knows what you're about. So it's identifying itself to you just to see what I'm going to do. So what I do is I'm going to attend my love foundation and I radiate the love foundation and make contact with the people. And when I talk to the people, I'm talking to the individual that's being spiritually targeted, or should I say invaded. I use my love foundation. When I use my love foundation, and the unseen knows that the capabilities that I have is to uh, get rid of it by type out in Jesus Christ's name, it takes off. You don't want to do nothing with that. But there is times, and I'm going to share some stories with y'all about this, of the things that I'm talking about, because I've done things spiritually to literally help people that have been targeted, possessed, you could say, where they don't know what they're doing because of being controlled by something demonic in nature. There's a topic that a lot of people in the cryptic community don't want to talk about because it takes away from what they're hunting being 100% flesh. It takes away from that. The reason I speak about this, like I said, I've been doing this work since I was 3 years old, and I've seen things that these people that consider themselves hunters, they They put themselves in a high pedestal within the crypto community that they don't see eye to eye with me, and in which some targeted me because they dislike that I'm bringing the spiritual truth. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for those that have a spiritual understanding. I'm here for those that are being spiritually bonded, that might be sick. I'm here for you, for those that want the spiritual help. Now, I cannot awaken everybody in the cryptic community, but I can awaken some that have some kind of faith in them, some kind of belief in Jesus Christ. That's why I do this spiritual works, and that's why I get targeted a lot. What you might hear me say target many times is not just because of the work that I do here in the spiritual cryptid, in the community of the cryptids or the spiritual or the paranormal. I've been targeted all my life spiritually by these unseen forces. I've fought it spiritually against members of the alliance of these unseen forces. In Spanish, we call them brujos, brujas, which means witches and warlocks. I've faced demonic entities all throughout my life, in which I've overcome them through Jesus Christ. This is why I battle spiritually. These are the things that are around us, whether we're at our home, whether in our yard, whether we're in the woods, whether we're at the beach, whether we're wherever in some kind of location. Those are the things that are around us. That's why I get targeted from people, because it takes away from what they're trying to push, right? When somebody's trying to push something to you, right? I'm the one that's always been how should I say, uh, the dark sheep. A lot of people want to call somebody they're sharing things with people the dark sheep. I've been considered a dark sheep. You could consider me a loner. You know, I've been called many names, and I've been calling worse names than that by this unseen forces, because they know that I can identify them. They don't know. They know that I know what they're doing. So they dislike me because I'll go into prayer. If I see somebody that's being infiltrated by them, I send them away. That's what they dislike me, right? Bringing the spiritual aspect. There's people that it takes away from what the material they're trying to put out. That they say that a Bigfoot is 100% flesh. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not true, because I'm going to talk to you about the spiritual truth about Bigfoots, Dogman, or anything you can imagine in your mind, right? That you think you can manifest something to look something out of your worst nightmare, right? Whatever your fear, that's what they do, because they know what's within you. They know what you're thinking. They know if you have a spiritual opening. They know if you're mad. They know if you're living in sin. They know who you're affiliated with. They know all these things. And sometimes people that are being bonded get placed in a situation to come up against somebody like me. Trust me, I've seen people come and go spiritually. So when somebody comes at me in a negative way, it's nothing new to me. Sometimes people they come in negative ways because they have a spiritual opening, and they're just being used momentarily, right, to come at me spiritually. And some is because they're affiliated with certain groups, cults, huh? Listen to me, y'all. Cults within the cryptic community, within the spiritual community, paranormal. There's cults where those people come at me also because I always speak about Jesus Christ. I was maintaining the love foundation. I've been in situations where I've been surrounded by demonic entities in the middle of the woods. What do I do in that situation, that scenario where they're manifesting and they look beastly, werewolf, lycanthrope like? I go into prayer and I fall in spiritually. I come out of there safely, but they send a message. As I was saying, the deliverance prayer, the Our Father, as I said the prayer, I blocked them from viewing them because it was trying to get my attention, and I was ignoring them as I was walking right through the path in the night. But then they invaded my inner peace sanctum, where I'm going into prayer, where I feel safe, and where somebody wants to feel safe and they're going to prayer. Well, they're trying to interfere into my inner peace. But the only thing they could say as I kept on praying was this: the Holy One, the Holy One. All six of them kept on saying the Holy One, in which they were acknowledging the prayer, the deliverance prayer of the of the Heavenly Father, of the Our Father. They were acknowledging that, and they kept on saying the Holy One. Even though they manifested and they were right there nearby me, there was not a hair touched on me. I came out of that area safely through Jesus Christ. Like I said, there's a lot of people that don't like me bringing Jesus Christ in the picture, and my experience of what I've been and seen through life is this: the balance does exist. There is a spiritual battle between good and evil, and we see it daily, brothers and sisters. We see it daily in many ways, shapes, and forms. I get spiritually attacked all the time, but at the same time, I'm a Timber Love Foundation, and I try my best to deflect the negativity that comes towards me to go back to the sender, because I don't accept their negativity. So whatever they're trying to dish upon me, it goes back to them, because I don't accept that, right? In saying that, I'm going to continue. I know there's certain people right now that are friends. I believe everybody has a chance to make it into the kingdom of heaven. I know there's a lot of quarreling happening right now with a lot of people. I'm just here to let you know, as spiritual Abe, that dwelling in negativity is not good, because there's nothing good to come out of that. Sometimes we just have to wipe our feet and just keep on moving forward, because the unseen forces that are around us, they're the ones that puppeteering all that. They're the ones that controlling that narrative. And the people, the wolf in sheep clothing, right? They're ones controlling that narrative, because that's what they feed on. That's what they want. They want drama. They want people to be fighting amongst each other. Well, let's get to the nitty gritty now. Since I talked a little bit, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. For those who do know who I am, my name is Abram Cias. My friends call me Abe Cias, and that's the name I go by, Abe Cias. I grew up in the Rio Grande Valley. When I was 3 years old, I spent time in Matamoros, Reynosa, Mexico, with a medicine woman. The reason I spent time with a medicine woman is because my older brother was very ill, very sick, had high fevers. And the doctors from the States couldn't find a cure for him. The doctors in the Rio Grande Valley, which is where I come from, they could not find a cure for my brother. He had a lot of high fevers, and they're saying that he was going to die because the fevers were too high, that he wasn't going to survive. There was a medicine woman from Mexico that said she could heal him, but she had to work an arrangement with my parents, right? And the arrangement was that if she healed them, that I would have to stay with her for a couple of months. I don't to this day I don't know how long I stayed with her. All I know I was there for a while. Uh, in which by saying that she healed my brother. Um, my brother, what he had was high fevers in which it was causing mass hallucinations where it was seeing snakes and spiders, and he was always falling down, and his arm was messed up, his leg was messed up. When she healed him, I seen when she healed him, and her floor was made out of dirt. It was like a hut. When she healed my brother, I seen a baby black chick come out of this egg, right? And the baby black chick had a broken wing and a broken leg. So the maldad, which means the maldad means the the wrong that was dealt upon my brother went into the egg, and when the egg got cracked, the baby black chick, the chick had a broken wing and a broken leg, in which the evil that was done to my brother went into that egg, right where the baby chick came out. My brother got killed by this medicine woman, in which they came back to the states, and I stayed with a medicine woman. So this was when I was 3 years old. Uh, I want to talk about right now. Telling you just a little bit about me, in which I assisted this medicine woman by being since I was very young. My connection to the Heavenly Father was always there with the spiritual gifts of discernment, in which she would bring people that were sick, that were being spiritually attacked, and she would heal them. In which there was numerous times, some of the people that she healed, where I would see these demons, you want to call them demons, unclean spirits, come out of their body, where she was healing them, where they were being troubled, whether it was in the head, and their arms, and their legs, and their stomach, wherever the ailment was at. I would see this unclean spirit in shadow form, like look beastly. You know, you want to talk about werewolves, but the way their faces look, the shadow that they cast. Sometimes some people had one, some had two, some had three. I think the worst case scenario that I seen was a person that had like four that were being afflicted by four demonic entities, in which I seen them leave the hut. How could I see them? Is because the hut had a fire on the hole in the ground with a fire, and I was able to see the shadow of this unclean spirits leave the hut. The medicine woman would look at me and she would ask me, "Are they gone?" And I would just point where they will go, where they will leave the hut. She was a very strong spiritual woman, in which her mission was to help out people that were being spiritually attacked by through witchcraft and necromancy, by demonic forces that are used through witchcraft and necromancy. And that's what she would do. Those are the works that she would do. I would see where people would run away from her because of her capability spiritually. And I don't think it was the people that were running away from her because she was a bad person. They would run away from her because I believe that these people that were run away from her had attachments on them by these demons, right? That they knew that she had the ability to be able to cast these demons out of these individuals. That's how strong she was spiritually, right? So tonight is about sharing some spiritual wisdom and knowledge to y'all, brothers and sisters, how these unseen forces that I call disembodied demonic Nephilim right now. Uh, the knowledge that I have now is through the experiences that I've gone through in my life that I'm able to share with y'all. For whoever wants to have the wisdom and knowledge, I'm sharing it with y'all. You know, you see, I'm not reading off a piece of paper. You see that here on my site, I don't want no donations because I'll share the story of why I don't accept donations. When they said the money is root of all evil, the tithe. I had an experience of something like that, but we're talking about the balance. One of the things that can happen, brothers and sisters, of like what happened to my brother, the medicine woman knew after she healed my brother who did the wrongdoing to my brother, right? She said the name of the woman that did the wrong to him. So she she formed a counter spiritual attack in which whatever that woman tried to do to my brother, it went back to that woman, which was a witch. By the medicine woman doing this, the counterattack she did against a person, that woman passed away. So maybe like a couple of weeks later, at nighttime, imagine a little hut with fire on the ground, and she's standing in the door, blocking the door, and she's praying, and she's protecting me. I'm in the house with her in the little hut, and she's speaking to somebody. I'm trying to see who she's speaking to. No, I was small and I was looking, and it was brujas. You could see them in their how should I say, bruja outfits. you know, there was many of them that were standing in the yard where she lived in the city, and they said they were there because it wasn't just the brujas that were standing. There was lechuzas on the trees also, so they came in numbers. They were mad because the the one that got taken out was the main, should I say, the main witch of them. So they were mad and they were coming for vengeance against her, and I guess you could say against me because I was like affiliated with her because I was helping her out spiritually. But her house, she kept it protected and blessed, in which they could not come in. Right? They couldn't come in, and she was fighting spiritually. I remember that night. We didn't get that much rest, but they did not enter her hut because it was protected spiritually. So it was more of a spiritual battle where she was fighting against them through prayer. But when that's what I want to talk to you all about right now. Is there's things that people can do in that nature that can cause somebody to be ill, in which there is some things such as generational curses, right? That are that follow suit within family, especially if a family member has dabbled or is dabbling in the dark arts of some way, shape, or form, right? So that's why you have generational curses that come all the way from the beginning of time, from Adam and Eve. Generational curses that follow the families. How do you break a generational curse? Would be the question that somebody might want to know. For those who want to know, the way you can break a generational curse is, I'm going to say numerous things to you right now. First, you will have to have a relationship with Jesus Christ, maintain your love foundation. In that relationship with Jesus Christ, you will have to have unforgiveness, which you have to forgive your enemies. You cannot have hatred. You cannot have anger or vengeance toward anybody. That's what we forgive. And then you make a spiritual stance and you pray to Jesus Christ that you don't want to be part of any kind of generational curse from the past, that you're cutting ties of any deals or anybody that's made of any kind of way, shape, or form. You sever uh, those generational curses because you don't want to do with that. You're your own person and you just want to move on forward in a positive way through Jesus Christ. That's how you break a generational curse. People might not think they're generational curses, but they are. I'll give you a story. When I was in Germany, I was 19 years old. I'm in a foreign country, 19, going to go enter into a bar. I'm entering the bar, and it's the same old scenery, nothing but drunk GIs and smoke coming out of the bars, where everybody's partying. And something where within myself told me, you know what? I don't need to be out here. I don't feel like getting a hangover. So I'm just gonna go back to the billets and go watch a movie. Buy me something to eat from the pizzeria and go watch a movie. As I closed the door, there was a gentleman standing there. He had an umbrella, he had a long coat and a hat, and he's looking at me, talking with a different accent, and he tells me that he knows who I am. And it's like, sir, I've never met you before. I'm talking respectfully. I'm in a foreign country. He said, I know who your grandmother and grandfather are. And I said, really? And in my mind, my grandfather and grandmother passed away a long time ago. I was like, if you know who they are, what's their name? He said both of their names. So then I said, maybe just somebody. This is in 1989 when I was 19. So then he looks at me. He said, I know what town you come from. And he's talking to me with an accent from Germany. I said, if you know my town, what's the name of my town? He named the name of my town. So I said, okay, I'm going to really put him to the test. And I said, what are my parents' names? He said their names. He said my name. He said the name of all my brothers and sisters. So when that happened, something within myself said, just leave it alone and walk away from the situation. And which I did. I didn't say nothing back to him. I just felt spiritually at the time that I don't know what I was dealing with. So I just walked away from whatever it was. But basically what I'm saying is this. Those are demons that can manifest to look like humans. If they have the ability to look like humans, listen to me, they have the ability to look like cryptids. They have the ability to look like a Bigfoot. They have the ability to look like a dogman or whatever you want to place there. They have those abilities. I'm just letting you know that when I share a story with y'all that is 100% legit, I'm talking to you from what I experienced. And that's a God honest truth. And I'll place it on my mom. My mom is not amongst me no more. That's a God honest truth that I felt that it was something demonic I was facing that was there temporarily manifesting to look like a man. He knew everything about me. And there's no way in the world in 1989, I'm just a private. What would a private be so important? Well, maybe not important in the eyes of the military at the time, but maybe because of generational curses. Maybe he knew that I have some spiritual abilities, in which I did have spiritual abilities. But it mentioned every member of my family. So when I hear people that tell me that I know what I'm talking about, I don't think they know what they're talking about. All I know is this. If a demon can manifest to look like a German talking their language and tells me all the things of where I come from, tells me the location of where I live, tells me how my houses look, it's because that's deep. That's those are generational curses. Somewhere or another, when he mentioned my grandmother, my grandfather, I believe if it had some kind of authority, it was because of them. That's why I had to cut the negative tie from my grandmother and my grandfather. and I had to make my own path in life. We got Texas Fernie, how you doing? We got Audacious Amber, how you doing? That's what I want to talk to you all about, generational curses. I had a cousin that I have never met. It was on Dogman Eyewitness Encounters that I played something, and she said that we're cousins that we'd never met. Right? I'll place the what she wrote to me. I'm gonna place it on Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters on YouTube, and I'm gonna make a short reel of it. She said, "How I heard what you said about the demons and this how they take form to look like a werewolf, lycanthrope, or whatever they manifest." She said, "I just want to know one thing: how can I be going through the same thing you're going through?" That's what she told me. She is one of my cousin's daughter. Say, how am I seeing the things that you're seeing? The answer to you, cousin, is through generational curses. That you're going to have to take authority and cut those generational curses. Somebody within the family, or maybe before them, were dabbling in something, partaking in something. So you have to take authority over it. And you have to break the generational curse. So it won't follow you anymore or follow our next of kin. That's what it's about, right, brothers and sisters? If y'all can agree with me, it's about protecting our loved ones, protecting our next of kin and their next of kin, because the generation continues to to live. That's what I wanted to make this video tonight about generational curses, and a lot of that has to do with, like I said, somebody dabbling in the dark arts, or it might just be following from a long time ago, in which it just jumped from generation to generation. It's just waiting to see who is going to manipulate, who is going to affect. Uh, so when there's a generational curse, there's a lot of activity happening. Uh, you could hear noises of children at nighttime banging on the walls, running on top of the roofs. If you have a house on pillars, banging in underneath the house. You could hear women speaking, which is the witches and the warlocks, or brujas and brujos, chanting, because they're summoning and all these demonic forces to come at you, because it's part of a generational curse. Or you might wind up in an area, you're searching for a Bigfoot or a dog, and you wind up in an area where somebody might have left an open portal. Witches or warlocks practicing witchcraft, voodoo, or something of that nature, Kolak activity in these areas, and you go out there and cross into one of those barriers where the activity is still hot. You start hearing all kinds of noises, all kinds of growlings, people talking. It's because you're caught up in that area where activity is. A lot of native Indian burial grounds have that kind of activity, where you could see shadow figures, you could see skinwalkers, shapeshifters, and of course, the demonic forces that rule those areas. They'll show themselves to you, whether they take the manifestation of a giant red orb, or they manifest to look beastly. Uh, they'll manifest in that way because of what they focus on. Let me take a little drink real quick. They focus on the fear factor. That's why they manifest that way. Manifest means that they're in disembodied form, which means spirit, and they manifest, which take the appearance to look like something beastly, for the fear factor, because fear It's a spiritual opening. So if it can deceive somebody, and they already got the fear, that's one opening they can use to attack you. Then they have another opening, which is the belief factor. Because if you're believing in what you're seeing, that's already a spiritual opening. So if you don't have the wisdom and knowledge to say, I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name, then all it's going to do is attach itself to you, spiritually bond you. As you enter your home, it's entering your home uninvited without you inviting it because of the spiritual opening that you had. It used that to enter you, to bond you, and to go into your home in which it got free entry into your house. So then in your home, you start hearing all kinds of activity. The activity that I just mentioned. Dishes moving by themselves. Can you find your silverware? Things, you place something somewhere and you can't find it. You, a set of keys, you can place it in a certain location where you'll be placing it for a very long time. You go to that same location to get your set of keys, you can find them. You're missing your keys for 4 or 5 days. Next thing you know, your keys are on that spot that you searched like 100 times and they show up on that spot. They have those abilities. They're very mischievous. I'm just giving you a couple of examples of the things they can do when they've already bonded you because you gave them the opening. Then the activity that happens in your house is out of the ordinary. Opening the doors, slamming of doors. You have brought in things in your house where this unclean spirit, demonic spirit is just roaming around in your home. He's got free roam. If you don't have, like I said, if you don't have the ability to say, I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name, and take authority over it and make it leave, then it's just going to be roaming in your house till somebody comes, takes authority over it. Whether it's you or somebody you hire to come cleans your home, somebody's going to have to take authority over it. In which you have all kinds of phenomenons happening, you know. I hear it all the time where people say, a Bigfoot is living in my living room. A dog man is sleeping in my bed. What they're really witnessing is demonic activity. Unclean spirits have invaded the home, and what they have to do is cleanse their home, take authority over them, and tell them to leave. They have to protect the home through prayer, placing spiritual heavenly crosses on the doorways. And then they have to take authority over, since they're head of the household, they have to take authority and command it to leave their household. And once they do that, whatever activity is happening in the home leaves. But they have to be in the right state of spiritual mind. They have to be ready for this. Because if they have error, like they're living in sin, if they have hatred in the heart, they have unforgiveness, that's not going to work because it's going to see them as a joke, right? When you do this, you really have to watch your Q's and B's and go do this at 100% spiritual, in which you cannot have hatred, no anger, cannot be living in sin, and you have to take authority through Jesus Christ's name. That's the only way you can get rid of this demonic forces out of your home, unclean spirits out of your home. That's the only way. But sometimes, brothers and sisters, when you do that, it's not that easy sometimes, because sometimes they'll come back with more. So you send one away or two away, then you have 4 or 5 coming at you. So you do the same thing. Take authority, or they leave, they come back with more. It goes to more and more and more, and you just keep on fighting more spiritually. But it's about not giving up, not surrendering by taking authority over them through Jesus Christ. That's the only way you're going to get rid of something like that. Um, the reason this relates to the cryptid community is because I've been in the woods where they've manifested to look like a werewolf or what people want to call a dogman, and it's looking at me. I'm looking at it, and I'm not trying to give it power through belief. So I ignore what I'm seeing that looks like to be in the flesh, and because I'm not trying to leave a spiritual opening to get spiritually attacked. So what I do, I put it to the test. I see it, and I say, I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. When I do that, they disappear. A puff of smoke, sometimes might leave a sulfur smell, and some of them that disappear also leave a pestilence smell. Those are two things to look out for. Is but when they're gone, they're gone. They leave. They vanish when you bring Jesus Christ into the picture. That's why I say, and what I've been trying to say to the cryptic community for a while, put it to the test. Tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. See what happens. All this demonic, I call them disembodied demonic after they take this manifestation, this forms. I rebuke them while I go into prayer. When I go into prayer, guess what they do? They disappear. They leave because they don't want to fight spiritually against me in that way. They don't want to fight. They don't want me to rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. So they rather depart. I have a lot of short reels that I've captured from the woods where you can see these demonic entities that I'm talking about, what I call the disembodied demonic Nephilim. And the short reels, you can see them where they're moving. You can see them. There's one where I have a short reel where it's looking at me, but it's not fully manifested to look real. It's in between, but you can see the form. You can see the beastly form it has. It even smiles at the camera and shows teeth. But then after that, because within myself I always pray, it goes straight into the ground, which is showing that it's not of the flesh, but it's showing it is demonic. It goes into Mother Nature itself. I have the evidence. I have the proof. I know I've been targeted numerous times. On my original group, which was Positive Spiritualists, which they focused on my main account, and I got literally kicked off of Facebook, which I lost my group. So I reestablished myself, and I had created Positive Spiritualists again. Luckily, I had a lot of my information saved. I created that, and then boom, I got targeted again by the those that really do not want to believe in Jesus Christ, but they don't want to just focus to say that a Bigfoot and a dogman are 100% flesh. So my group Positive Spiritualists start growing because they kept on targeting. So now I created this group called Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters, in which I've been doing my works. What I've done is I'm only posting footage or videos or of anything that I do on groups that I'm admin of and that I'm a moderator of, that allow me to place this. That's the only places I place my information, because some of these haters were infiltrating in some other groups that I was involved in, and they kept on reporting my content intentionally. Because they don't want to see the spiritual aspect. Maybe they don't want to believe in Jesus Christ. Whatever the case, I've eliminated that by not placing any stuff or any content in any of the remaining groups that I got. I know how they were doing it, which would be the main people, the admins and the moderators from those groups that were intentionally reporting my content. But I'm doing it this way now, in which it's working very good for me, and I'm able to speak freely of what I want to speak about, in which is more of the spiritual nature of this. Now, Bigfoot believers or anybody that believes in cryptids, I'm going to tell you like this: the native knew, what a Bigfoot is. The shamans knew what a Bigfoot was. You ever heard the saying, "Beelzebub cannot cast out Beelzebub," right? Why do you think the shamans were dressed in the garments and wore different masks of different beasts? Because they knew what the Bigfoot was, which was demonic. You cannot fight something demonic to look something looking beastly with something else looking beastly. You can fight it that way. But that's why they were dressed up that way in those kind of get because those were the things that they were witnessing of the squatches, demons that were infiltrating in their tribes, teaching witchcraft and necromancy to the people. That's why they were dressed like that. The natives. Some of them were, how should I say, when we talk about generational curses, some of them were kind of ballistic. We all know what happens when people are kind of ballistic. We hear about the Wendigo, right? Because they're eating human flesh. So when you see a skinwalker or shapeshifter, most likely there were taught, some of those individuals were taught the necromancy through witchcraft, necromancy, and maybe some cannibalized. So they had the abilities, like a cat. When they cannibalize, it's kind of like a blood sacrifice. So in that sense of way, they have certain capabilities because of the things that they've done, which all that could lead to generational curses. You know, we can talk about how see when the Watchers created the Nephilim. You know, I've seen all these postings on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They make up these videos where people are supposedly real tall. I'm just here to let you know that the Great Flood destroyed all the Nephilim. What was left of the Nephilim, if people don't know, the Nephilim were created by the Watchers, in which, as they were created by the Watchers, Watchers were part of the fallen one third. They have demonic, they became demons. Watchers were half. That's what we call demons here on Earth right now. But they're disembodied demonic Nephilim. They're not of God's creation. They're created by the Watchers. So in some of my footage that I capture, it's kind of like they like to photobomb. When you look at something behind you and it's photobombing you, looking at you, what is it doing? It literally looks like it's watching. That's why I say that what remains of the disembodied demonic Nephilim is exactly that. Their spirit form that remains, in which they still have the abilities to manifest, to look like something. Like I said, I'm here to tell you the spiritual truth. I'm not here to pull your leg. I hear people say they go hunt. They're hunting. That their mission is to kill a werewolf. That their mission is to hunt a dogman, or they want to kill the werewolf that's in LBL or something like that. I'm just here to tell you, no matter how many parties you gather, no matter how many weapons you have upon yourself, you're not going to be able to hunt anything, especially if it's in disembodied form. If it's demonic, you can't hunt it in that nature. But it can hunt you spiritually. So when you go out there thinking you're gonna bring a body of a werewolf that's an LBL, wherever it's at, You're not gonna find nothing. You're not gonna hunt nothing. It's a waste. I'm telling you. I'm more sure you've wasted a lot of field trips like that because you still ain't come up with a body because it's not of the flesh. It is something that's in disembodied form. But you could only get glimpses out of it. Just like when I capture it through my footage, when it manifests and it's looking down at me from behind, and I'm able to move my camera enough to be able to capture how it looks, then it just disappears. And they can move real fast in disembodied form, in spirit form. Uh, they'll make contact with you more than you know it. They've already made contact with you, and you don't even know it because you're hunting the wrong thing. You're literally hunting for something that you can't hunt in the flesh. It's something that's in spirit. Like I said, the natives know. If the natives know, then anybody that came after that should know also that what that's about. Um, when I made contact with them, they said they're calling many names. Of course, you call many names throughout the centuries, right? People call you many names throughout the century. Sometimes they say, I've got EVPs where they said they call themselves a herd. We all know spiritually what's a herd in the Bible. When Jesus casted the demons, which was a legion, which are many, a herd out of the man that was possessed, and it went into the swine of a herd of pigs. I've gotten all kinds of EVPs that 100% to me, it's 100%. How should I say? Proof that these things that are out there are demonic in nature. That's what I bring to the table, and that's why a lot of people that they want to continue to look for something that's not there in the flesh can't get the proof that they want. They will never get the proof. I'm the bearer of bad news. You're not going to get the proof. The only proof that anybody has tried to prove is people in baggy costumes. You got a lot of hoaxers. They're hoaxing in many kind of ways because they want people to continue to believe that these beings are the flesh. So they get people to dress up in costumes. Still nobody found. Trust me, I was in the military 10 years. If I were to see a body, I know if those people that are in costume that were get shot by a real hunter, the person in the costume would be dead right now. So when they make these videos, they go to certain locations, so they make sure they don't run into hunters because, God forbid, one of these days, or might have already happened, where one of these guys pretend to be a Bigfoot or pretending to be a dog man is going to get shot accidentally. So people in costume is not proof that they are real. Now a body, if you were to kill one, right, and have a body, that would be the proof. To say, you know what, Brother Abe Seas, I'm tired of you bringing the spiritual aspect out of this. I'm going to show you when I bring the body of the LBL werewolf or the body of a dog, of a Bigfoot. I hope I'm still alive by the time to do that, but I don't think that's ever going to happen because I know the truth. The truth, there are more of demonic in nature, which is disembodied form. No difference than a generational curse, what exists within a generational curse of a family. That's how they follow. They will follow a generational curse if there is still legitimate, legitimate opening what it can use to attack the family members. But you, such as I, have the authority to say, you know what, I don't be involved in this. I cut and sever this generational curse tie, and I want to forgive anybody of my past. You maintain your love foundation. You have a relationship with Jesus Christ, and you cut the sever their tie, and you move on forward with your life. You protect your next of kin. This is actually what it is about for me, brothers and sisters here. Whoever's here viewing, whoever wants to know the spiritual truth, thank you for still being here, listening to me talk. That's how you sever a generational curse. So once you do that, when you forgiveness is part of love. The Heavenly Father is going to bless you. Jesus Christ is going to bless you. He will bless you with the spiritual gifts of the discernment when you do that 100% in true faith and true belief that you're actually forgiving your enemies. He blesses you for that act of unforgiveness. He blesses you with the spiritual gifts of discernment in which you're going to be able to distinguish what's real and what's real and what's in spirit or in disembodied form. It's going to give you those abilities. And that's how you're going to grow spiritually. Just like I have grown spiritually. But not everybody's going to tell you the truth. Because if somebody's trying to stick to a narrative, they're trying to stick to the works that they've done for years and years because they've been exploring. So they have a book of all this knowledge of what they've done when they go camping, when they go to the woods, but they have no body. They have pictures when anybody can draw a picture, but there's no proof of this cryptids being 100% flesh. Same thing as me. I'm letting you know right now that has spiritual proof through pictures, through short reels, that there are DDNs, disembodied demonic Nephilim. I do have the proof of their existence in that way. And when you see that, you're seeing their spirit form, or should I say disembodied form. Let's talk about a disembodied form of what they can use to manifest. They can manifest to look mist-like. They can manifest to look like a shadow. They can manifest to look like smoke. They can manifest to look like fire. They can manifest to look like an orb. And like I said before, they can manifest to look human. They can manifest to look like any kind of cryptid. They have those capabilities. It's like, well, if it's true, how? Well, we're all grounded in some kind of way spiritually, right? So what do? They use the elements. They use the elements to manifest, right? They kind of manifest to look into a creature by using the elements that looks like a tree, a walking tree, but looks like a human. They can use dirt. They can use, like I said, anything dealing with the elements to manifest. They can be right beside you, pretending to be a tree. You don't even know it. That they're right there beside you. But that's what they do. They try to throw you off. Trust me, I've been out there in the woods at nighttime. They try to throw you off by making like a coughing sound, a whistling sound, run towards you where you're hearing footsteps. Sometimes they might laugh. Sometimes they might growl. Or the worst thing they could do is to make contact with you and mark you, where they scratch you, But I've been out there to understand what I'm dealing with when I go do my spiritual works and get my spiritual evidence. In order for do that, you have to go boots on the ground. I'm prime military. I was a tanker in the army. Seriously, I got a little angel with a saber round. Um, but they have those abilities, brothers and sisters. And I can, like I said, my short reels on TikTok under HCS has a lot of those short reel videos that you can see something pop up there. When I go and investigate, they mess up my camera. When the camera is shut off, or should I say, my cell phone loses frequency, or it gets, I start losing connection where I'm at. That's when they surface up. They don't want the people to see this. They surface up, so they're making all kinds of noises around me, breaking branches, making animal noises, making snout noises, talking different languages. When they're doing all this, they do this as a distraction to see if you're going to fear. So what do? I go into prayer, start saying the Our Father, and I start binding and rebuking them. And when I start doing that, they flee because they're afraid of the power, or should I say, of Jesus Christ. They're afraid of that. They fear, and they leave. They run away. That's how you put something into a test, a spiritual test. I'm more sure people don't put it to the test to see if they're real, where they take the good old boys, right? They take their shotguns, their rifles, machine guns, grenades, whatever they have, and they use it on them, thinking that they're going to get a confirmed kill. And so I swear to God, I thought that I threw that grenade right at it, and it popped right beside it, but there's no body. I let my machine go off on it, and I shot all my rounds, 150 rounds. There's no body. I swear. Y'all know, guys, I go to the range. I'm an expert. The first bullet, one shot, one kill. But there's no Bigfoot. There's no Dogman. Why? I've been telling you why. Because they're demonic in nature. They're in spirit form. So the only thing you're going to find is residue of your ammo that you wasted because you're shooting at something that's in spirit form. You cannot get a confirmed kill or something in the spirit. It's like shooting just in air. That's all you're shooting in the air, wasting your bullets. I've heard stories where people say, I killed a dog, man. I killed a Bigfoot. And you know that saying, show me the money, show me the money. Well, show me the body, show me the body, show me the body. They got no body because it's just a story. Now, what I will believe is if they shot it right at it, and they were to say, I shot directly at it, in between the eyes, and it didn't do nothing to it. I couldn't find the body. It's like it didn't do nothing to it. It's because you cannot kill something that's a spirit form and a demonic manifestation. You cannot kill it. So when you missed it with your bullet, say the truth. You missed it with your bullet that you shot right directly at it, and you couldn't find a body because it was gone, like if it was never there. I would believe that story more than you would say, I killed a dogman, I killed a Bigfoot. When you have a confirmed kill, you will have a body bag. You will have a body, or at least a picture of something that's dead, right? No picture, no body, no kill. It's because you cannot kill something that's in the spirit. I'm just letting you know right now. The only thing that we can do is fight it spiritually through Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to explain different kinds of ways so people could understand within the spiritual world, within the paranormal world, and within the cryptid community that the only way you're going to be able to fight something in this nature is by exposing for what it is. Uh, I believe I've been doing a good job of exposing of what it is for a while now. But like I said, people that've been out in the field or searching for through the woods and writing books and doing all kinds of things, right, to keep it in existence, to keep the myth that it's something that's 100% flesh. Uh, they continue to do all this works because they're trying to say it's flesh, but like I said, there's no body. I've been to the field where I see a herd of or should I say, a herd of deer when they run together as a pack. I've seen packs of wolves, packs of coyotes. I've seen uh, what's the other one? Like different animals that are out there that I've seen them running together. Uh, but what I haven't seen is a pack of Bigfoots, a pack of Dogman. I've seen things that are living, like the animals that I've just described, but nothing in any other kind of nature. I've seen manifestations of them, or something that look like this, but when I put it to the test, they disappear when I bring Jesus Christ into the picture. Let me take another sip of water. I want to send a shout out to the PRT community. I want to send a shout out to my friend, brother Carlito. I know he's been doing a lot of work. He's been working a lot. I want to send a shout out to my cousin Jesus Carvajal. That he understands where I'm coming from because he's been there with me a couple of times in the past where we had this experiences with this supposedly Bigfoot dogman beings, in which he found out that there wasn't truly that because he witnessed to themselves how they looked and what their capabilities were, which were demonic. You know, the first I've seen a lot of things throughout my life, brothers and sisters. You know what people want to call. They got several names to them, but in all honesty, you know, I'm just calling it how it's written, what they really are. You know, I'm not gonna name something that it ain't. You know, which to me they are all demonic of nature. You know, have those abilities of demonic entities. You know, I've seen people get possessed by them. You know, the Legion possessed a man that was in the cave. Well, that's what roams within the woods. The many they roam, and I've seen get people get possessed where they don't even know what they're doing. I've seen people. I've seen a person get possessed by a bridge by one of them, where it elevated him up in the air, and it dropped him hard on the ground. It was like 7 foot up in the air, getting lifted by unseen force, and he gets dropped, gets picked up, and dropped two other times. So as I'm walking, this is on the highway. I'm looking at the man laid out by the bridge. So I crossed midway through the bridge. I went to his side, and I said, "Sir, do you need help?" You know, and he's not responding. And I said, "Sir, do you need help?" Then he finally gets up and he starts stumbling towards me. And as he gets right in front of me, his eyes are kind of reddish. And he says, "Next time I see you, I'm going to kill you." And that's all he kept on saying to me. "Next time I see you, I'm going to kill you." So I already know that he was infiltrated and he had a demonic force in him that had possessed his body. So I'm using my kindness and come on, let me help you out, sir. So I take him to safety. I give him a bottle of water. I prayed over it for God to bless the water. When he drank the water that I blessed spiritually through Jesus Christ, he became better whatever was in him left his body. And I asked him, so what happened? He don't know what happened when I helped him from the bridge all the way to the store. The only thing he told me is that he had run out of gas and that he was going home to get the gas a can. And then he told me, thank you for the water. He does not remember that he got lifted up in the air by an unseen force and got dropped. He don't remember me helping him across the bridge, across the highway to get him to safety. He don't remember none of that. Normally, people that are possessed or that do not remember those kind of things only remember when they have control of their body. And I'm more than sure that's how a lot of people wind up missing 401 cases, whether it's been children or people that disappear in the woods. I know what they can do. They can deceive people. They can mimic a voice of a loved one, or they're camping with somebody and they take the form of the person they're camping because they went separate directions. And she's hearing the boyfriend call her into the woods. He goes, follows the wall. She follows the voice deep and she gets lost. And then the boyfriend hears her calling him, going to a different direction, and he goes deeper into the woods and he gets lost because they lose where they went to, where they get misled into the woods. Uh, Let me drink a little bit more water. Should I say Gatorade? Um, that's how children get lured. They pretend to be their friends, right? They manifest to something to maybe their imagination, and they pretend them to be their friends, and they try to befriend them. For example, they could say, "Believe in me. I'm your friend. Let me take you to my house." And if they involuntarily agree to go to their house, then they're gone out of this realm because they got deceived and got taken in that nature because they didn't know, right? So they get taken by this what I call the DDN. They can use a tree as a portal to take somebody. How do I know this? Because they try to do that to my son, and that happened to me when I was a kid at a church. I was at church at the midnight mass. I had fainted because of the incense that the priests were using in the midnight mass, and I hit the back of my neck. I had a knot on the back of my head where I hit the back of my neck on the bench. So they tell me to go outside to get some air, and my mom could see me, and I'm there, and as I'm out there just breathing in and out, getting the fresh air, I hear somebody yell from behind the tree. That's maybe I would say like 70 feet away, and it's going like this, calling me to go behind the tree. At that time, I would say like 10 years old. He's calling me to go behind the tree. So I don't go because I know my mom told me to wait right there. You know, my mom is the old school moms. If you don't listen when you get home, there's a spanking, or should I say a whooping. So I'm standing there, and whatever was calling me starts walking down the sidewalk, and I see it getting closer and closer and closer, and it stands right there in front of me. Maybe I would say it was like 10 feet away from me, and all I'm seeing is a void or a form, what seems to be a man, but it's a form because he has no face. You could say it's a shadow form. It's looking at me, and he tells me, do not believe what the man up there is saying, which was a priest. Then he says, do not believe what's up there, which was the cross, Jesus Christ. Then he says to me that he wants to be my friend, that he'll take me to where it comes from, but I gotta go with it. So what I tell him is a you know, I've always been I've already done my first communion. So I told him I believe in Jesus Christ. When I said that, I heard a voice say, "Who are you talking to?" Which is my mother. And when she looks, it moves so fast, brothers and sisters. You just don't understand how fast the capabilities they are. That was like, she just said, "Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?" In 5 seconds, it moved from what it was, and my mom got to see it going behind the tree that was 70 feet away. She seen it going what seemed to be behind the tree. And she's yelling. And she said, "I see you. Why are you talking to my son?" She grabs me. And we go walking. And I said, "I'm gonna get," she's like, "I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you for trying to talking for my son." My mom was pissed, you know. And she goes and says, "I know you're behind the tree." And she told me, "You stay right here." "How you doing, Overbuilt Automotive?" She told me, "You stand right here." So I'm standing there. She goes behind the tree, and there's nobody there. And she's like, "Where did he go?" So she grabs me, and we go walk around the parasol. And there's an AC unit by the parasol that's on the ground. And she said, "You're probably behind the AC unit." She go behind the AC unit. There's nobody there. We walk around the whole block. There's nobody there. We walk to the same place where I was standing, where he was speaking to me. And at that time, and only that time, my mother said, "Ay Maria Purísima," which means Holy Mary, Mother of God. Then she knew that what was there speaking to me was something demonic in nature. That's why I know the things that I know. For those that think they know what they're talking about because they supposedly are flesh creatures, I'm just here to let you know that what you're dealing with is something demonic. That's why there's no capture of them. They're demonic in nature. I've witnessed them. I've seen them. I've seen them how they can disappear and appear out of nowhere. They use the elements. They can control time. They can make hours pass. They can make hours pass, but the time hasn't moved. So you can be trapped in a location, and when you look at your clock, it's like, whoa, it's like time hasn't even moved because they can stop time. They can make time speed up. And which sometimes when after they speed up, you don't feel too well. It feels like you age some. But that's what they control. They know how to control time. Just like the Heavenly Father knows how to control time. They interrupt the time, how should I say, they can interrupt our regular state of living by interfering in disembodied form. They go in and out of a reality, what you want to call it, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, whatever you want to call it, they have those capabilities. I might have a capability like that maybe when I'm not here amongst the living, when I'm in spirit form, but they have the capability because they are amongst us in disembodied form. They have those capabilities. You know, when people talk about a super soldier, that's a super soldier because they can attack a whole mob of people that are pissed off. They can enter all those people that have the spiritual opening and destroy them all at once because they have the spiritual opening. They could enter them, which means possess, and destroy those people because they have a spiritual opening. That's one of the reasons. Look, I'm gonna be honest here with y'all, brothers and sisters. A friend is not going to cuss at you, is not going to talk bad about you. A friend is going to respect you for who you are, your self worth, and for your works. If I was in the wrong of something, I would expect my friend to tell me, hey, Brother Abe, you're on the wrong with that. Just like I would expect a family member to tell me that I was wrong. If I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong, and I'll apologize to somebody. Um, but in saying that, that's how it feels sometimes when you're trying to get to the truth. There's always somebody that's going to come up and surface up to come up against you, especially in the podcast business or in as you're making a spiritual life. There's people that are going to pop up. If there's somebody popping up, I can see what they're saying because I'm just doing live. I got nobody manning anything. So they're going to pop up, and there's if they dislike you, they're going to say negative comments. But what if? Just what if? Think about this. They say that the legion are many, right? What if a lot of these fake profiles that pop up, they're being controlled demonically? That each fake personality is a demon. That a computer is designed in that nature for something to enter it to make it live. Imagine that. Just an imagination of that. Makes you wonder that maybe that's why some of our equipment glitches, our phones or electronics, that it glitches or it gives out, the batteries go dead, because somewhere within our technology, something within our technology is protecting the unseen. Right? It's protecting them because they don't want to be revealed. So the technology that is being built that we have is to protect the unseen, so people won't be able to see them. So there's a lot of glitching. Just something for y'all to think about. Something for y'all to think about, brothers and sisters. Why is there so much glitching? Why do our equipment fail? Why do the batteries go dead? People will tell you, oh, the ghost drained the energy, the demon drained the energy. It did that. But what if our equipment, it's something that I had never thought about? I don't think, maybe somebody has, I don't know. What if the equipment designed so we won't be able to capture what really is out there? That's why the equipment fails, right? No matter what they create, is created so whatever's out there could not really be revealed, but to keep kept in secrecy. So what's the only thing that you're going to be able to do to really know the spiritual truth? You see the picture now where I'm coming from with this, right? The only way you're going to be to see the element of surprise, whatever is hidden, whatever is unseen, is through our Heavenly Father, through Jesus Christ, through the spiritual gifts of discernment. Through those abilities, we're able to decipher what's hidden, what our technology cannot catch. We're able to see it through the spiritual gifts of discernment. That's how we're able to see it. That's how we're going to be able to fight spiritually. Because there's no technology, there's no weapon that we're going to be able to use to fight this unseen forces. Trust me, I've been battling for years, brothers and sisters. I battled them with them in Elms Grove Estates. I'm still here, a survivor, because of Jesus Christ. He gave me the wisdom and knowledge how to be able to fight. I'm trying to share my wisdom and knowledge to those that are boots on the ground. But some people just don't want to listen because they're being deceived to believe that they're 100% flesh. So that's already a losing situation. What I mean by that is you're not going to be able to hunt anything that's in spirit. You're giving it the belief factor in which you're believing in it already. That's a spiritual opening. You hear a growl or a yell or somebody knock on a piece of wood, you're really believing in it that it's something real. So that's a spiritual opening. So if the source is demonic, then it already got you where it wants you. But I'm trying to let you know, if you have a little bit of belief in Jesus Christ, I'm more sure somebody in your family, your mother, your grandmother, somewhere in the lines in your family, somebody believe in the Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ. I'm just being a messenger here that you have to have faith and believe, and that's how you're going to know the truth of what you're really dealing with. So imagine this, that you say, there's people that say they've been hunting Bigfoot for a long time, or they've been hunting a dogman for a long time. What if all along they're being played by something that's demonic? So they really haven't been hunting a Bigfoot or dogman. The demon had just been luring them in further and further in, because they're already believing in him. So he's got the spiritual opening over them. They're already believing in him. You know, whatever manifest take, they're fearing him. But the strongest thing it has over those individuals is the belief factor. I mean, golly, you got people gifting them things. That's a form of, how should I say, like a little sacrifice thing, right? Little sacrifice ritual thing that they're giving them things, you know. It's already got power over them by them doing that. I'm just bringing the spiritual aspect out of it, guys. You know, of what I understand, of what I've experienced, what I've witnessed. That's why I come with this wisdom and knowledge to y'all, whoever wants to listen. You know, I don't think they want Brother see us as a. I see a lot of people comment my message through Messenger about they love the works that I'm doing. They like the spiritual truth that I'm saying. Well, you know what? I was revealed to it when I was 3 years old, and all my life I've been fighting spiritually. So it's never too late. It's better late than never to know the truth. But once you know the truth, then you know what's out there, and you know what to do for it not to gain power over you. Because you're giving it power. You know, imagine all those things you're giving power to it, that's already fallen. That one there fell from the heavens. The disembodied Nephilim wasn't even in the heavens. That was created by the offspring. They're the offspring of the Watchers. So if whoever practices witchcraft, necromancy, or anything in that nature, they're belittling themselves because they're putting below that, because they're giving it power. So they're putting themselves below something that's fallen, in which we are greater than that. We are children of God. We were created under His image. We have the ability to make it into the kingdom of heaven. That's our destiny. And everybody should see it that way. That's what we're supposed to fight for. We shouldn't be arguing amongst each other of whatever's here on earth, because whatever's here on earth is going to stay here on earth, right? It's about preparing our spirits daily, maintaining our foundation daily, doing the spiritual works, whether you're helping somebody out, you're praying for people, You're blessing people, doing the good deeds, preparing yourself for when it's time for you to cross over, that your spirit is going to be strong enough to be able to ascend and make it into the kingdom of heaven. That's what it's about. Uh, there are angels around us, just like that Jesus Christ is around us. There are heavenly angels around us, protecting us, that are guiding us, that the Heavenly Father sends our way to protect us from this unseen forces. This is giving me the ability to speak about it right now. No matter who comes about against me in a negative way, I'm getting the ability to be able to speak about this. When I talk about it, you see, I'm not reading anything. I'm telling you, I'm sharing my wisdom and knowledge to y'all, that the only way we're going to be able to overcome what's coming our way, which is the unseen spiritual war, is through Jesus Christ. That's the only way we're going to overcome them, because through the spiritual gifts of discernment that He blesses us with, we're going to be able to see what's hidden. We're going to be able to see the true nature, should I say, of the beast. But the nature is because we're being blessed with that ability. So we're being blessed with that ability, then we're being protected through Jesus Christ and His heavenly angels. So fear should be out of the way, because we're being protected by the Heavenly Father. We're being obedient. I'm being obedient right now, speaking about this. I should have been here. I should have been gone a long time ago, but the Heavenly Father sees I'm worthy of still being amongst the living, to be able to continue to do this works. Spread the message. Awaken my brothers and sisters. I consider all of y'all my brothers and sisters, even for those that don't like me. I consider you a brother. I consider you a sister. Maybe one day you might watch a full video through to listen to what I have to say. And maybe somewhere within that video, the things that I say, something is going to hit you right here. Then it's going to hit you here. And you're going to open up here. And then you're going to understand where I'm coming from. I've seen it all throughout my life, brothers and sisters, where people try to paint me a certain way, that I'm this, I'm that, in which people, if people listen to other people talking bad about somebody, the only thing I have to say to y'all is this: know me for who I am, which means don't listen to anybody that's spoken badly about me. Just listen to what I have to say. Then you be the judgment of who I am. But then you know the truth. You're going to know that I am not what people that are trying to paint me to be a negative way am. I am a good guy. I believe God sent me into this cryptid community for what was happening to me in Elms Grove. I used to be in a group called Live Workers of the World and Live Worker Life Feeds. Those groups still exist. But I got out of there because every time I would talk about Jesus, they didn't like that. So then when they didn't like that, it's like, well, I can't be in this group if they're not acknowledging Jesus Christ. But one of the members that was there, her husband was a cryptid guy. And she was sending him some of the pictures that I was capturing. So that's how I got involved into the cryptid community. I got pulled from a Light Workers, Light Feeds of the World to speak to somebody from the cryptid community, which was, they directed me to Vic Kundov. That's why I made my first podcast, Dogman's Encounters 53. That's my story. There was a lot that they didn't give me the platform to talk about everything that I'm just saying to you right now. At that time, I was still recuperating. I was still fighting spiritually when I made that video. If you hear that video, you can hear in the voice that I was still fighting spiritually. Uh, that was a long time ago, but that was the first person I made a podcast with was Vic Kundo, Dogman Encounters, episode 53. That's how I wound up in the crypto community. So, for those in the crypto community that dislike what I have to say, the spiritual aspect out of this, I'm sorry, but not so sorry. And the reason I say that is because I believe I got led that way through Jesus Christ to be here for a reason. And I believe the main reason is to awaken my brothers and sisters that have been lied to about what they're dealing with within the crypto community. I'm here to awaken y'all spiritually to understand that what you're dealing with in the crypto community are demonic of nature. Just telling you the spiritual truth. Now, if somebody would ever find a body that they say that they killed something and they're showing me the body that is 100% legit, that's a whole different story. But of what I've been through and stories that I've heard of people, they're dealing with something that is not from this reality. They're dealing with something that's demonic. Uh, they're not going to say demonic. They're not going to say they'll say something more like, "Oh, it's a dimensional creature. It goes in and out of reality." Well, what do you think a demon does? He goes in and out of a reality. He can manifest into anything. It's kind of like that's what people are. When they replace what Christmas really is about with Santa Claus, or they replaced what Easter's really about with the Easter Bunny, right? No difference in what's happening in the crypto community. They're, I mean, they're replacing something that's demonic, I guess, is to stay hidden, right? With things that are supposed to be flesh and blood creatures. I can tell you this: that this disembodied demonic Nephilim, they do have many abilities. They can. They have enough energy. They can throw something at you. They can throw a piece of log at you. They have enough energy. They'll lift the back of your truck up in the air. They have enough energy that can make a person think they're being taken by a UFO as they're getting lifted up in the air. They have those capabilities, brothers and sisters. So that's another whole different genre right there that I'm talking about. Of what could they things that they could do that can make you think it's something else that's in existence. You know, it happened to me where I was in Lubbock, Texas, in Anton, Texas. We live out on a ranch, and we live near the highway. There's some railroad tracks, and where we live, there's some pine trees. And I started noticing these shadow figures coming closer and closer around the home, As I'm witnessing them, I will tell my mom, "Do you see that?" And she says, "I don't see nothing." Then all of a sudden one day, the shadow figures that were coming closer towards the tree line, which were pine trees, you could see a red eye shine on them. And they decided to come and attack, which meant they came to our house, and they were around our house peeking through the windows. As they were peeking through the windows, you could see the red eyes, which people will consider a Bigfoot. They were big as a Bigfoot. But I knew there was something else. So we went into prayer. We were praying, and then they left the windows. I remember sleeping in the room. When I woke up, I was having a dream where I was falling, and I was going to hit something. I was like I was falling in a well. And when I finally hit, I woke up. When I woke up, I feel my face being pressed on something. I'm thinking that I fell to the ground off my bed. When I open my eyes and I look, I'm not on the ground. I'm up, elevated onto the ceiling. My face is touching the ceiling, being pressed where something has me elevated towards the ceiling. My brother wakes up. He looks at me up, elevated towards the ceiling. He jumps off the bed. I got bird's eye view because I'm up, my face pressing on the ceiling. Right at this time, I was 15 years old. My brother runs out of the room and wakes up my mom, and I get dropped from the ceiling and I land on the ground. Right. So there's a question to debatable. The demonic forces have the ability to elevate people in the air. I would say yes to you. Did it feel like there was energy trying to take me? Possibly. I mean, I'm in the ceiling. My face is being rubbed against the ceiling. An unseen force got me up there, right? So it can be mistaken for being taken by a UFO, right? But I get taken by a UFO. I got dropped and landed on the ground. It's something that I experienced in a small ranch in between Anton, Texas, and Littlefield. We used to work for this guy his name was Alan James. We were migrant workers. We would work in the fields in the cotton. We would go there for the summer. That's how we would make money. Come from a poor family, right? That's how we make money to go buy our money for school clothes. That's an experience that I experienced there. Of course, if you go into Lubbock, you'll see that there was a time there where they have pictures of UFOs flying in Lubbock, right? Because they want to keep the UFO phenomenon alive, right? Well, in essence, of way, I've seen these creatures that look like they were huge, they were massive. They look like what people consider Sasquatches with red eyes. But to me, because of the spiritual aspect of what I see, what I experience, to me, they're more demonic because of what happened to me. My job here is to share my stories for those who want to hear what I have to hear. I have so many stories, but I'm just letting you know that I understand how it can be confusing for those. It's kind of like this. I really don't celebrate Christmas too much, but it's like to those that spend all their lives talking to people saying that Bigfoot are real. But as they get older, they begin to realize that maybe Bigfoot is not real, but they've wasted a lot of years trying to convince people that they are real. And I understand from your part and point of view that you wouldn't want somebody like me to come and affect the works that you've done. But I'm just here through my spiritual works, bringing my spiritual truth, trying to bring awareness to my brothers and sisters that I consider everyone, even the trolls. Even the trolls, if they got a mind, if they got an ear, listen to what I'm saying. I'm here to help. That's been my mission. It's to help out my brothers and sisters. I have the wisdom and knowledge of lost family members due to the balance. I'm telling you, when it gets hot and heavy, and you're the head of the household or being bonded, and there's infiltration, demonic infiltration in your household, around your household, is energy that you do not want to feel, because it's an uneasy feeling, brothers and sisters. The negative energy, when it comes and attacks, it just it affects you in a negative way, that you're trying to not think about it, that what you're witnessing is real. Now you're not trying to give it any power, but it keeps on coming and coming, because it wants you to be afraid. It wants you to believe in it, but because that's what it wants you to do, to gain more power over you. I'm here to throw the wrench. I'm here to interfere. If somebody's going through something, I'm here to give you the wisdom and knowledge to help you overcome any spiritual attack that you're going through right now. Like I said, I've lost a loved one through the spiritual battle. So I'm here in honor to the loved one I lost, to share my wisdom and knowledge to those that want to listen, to assist you spiritually. And if anybody is going through anything, my line is always open, and I'll respond to you of whatever you're going through. But I believe this is all for right now, brothers and sisters. I don't want to stay too long. Let me see. Amen. Much respect, bro Abe. Sometimes I have to sit back. I can't be caught up too much in the moment, because when you're caught up in the moment of where there's people fighting and they're going back and forth, it can be very confusing, because what causes division, brothers and sisters, and what chaos and division is its unseen forces. That's how they work, through chaos and division. So it's confusing to me, because people are going back and forth, and people are choosing sides. A person could say, this person is still my friend. Then this friend goes against this person, saying that the friend talks highly about somebody else, that is a guy's enemy. And then I'll say, well, no, we're still friends. But then that friend comes up against me in a spiritual way and disrespects me, says bad things about me. And I said, should I respond to that or not? I respond to it. And I'm in this boat where there's still things happening here. People saying that they're friends with each other or not. The only thing I can say to that, when there's so much, should I say, chaos like that, is this. Friends are loyal. When you have a relationship with Jesus Christ is loyal to his people that believe in him. Right? He's loyal to the people that he's believing in. Me, it's kind of like this. When I see all this chaos, it's like you can see where something ain't right. So I just trying to stay to the sidelines as much as I can. But I know that there's certain individuals in the cryptid community that dislike me because I bring the spiritual aspect out of it, which is very important to me. As I got placed here, that's why I named my group Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters. I got placed here for a reason. And I'm going to continue to do the works that the Heavenly Father guides me to do. Like I said, I don't hate nobody. I don't dislike nobody. But I'm sorry, like I said, because I'm doing my spiritual works, because my spiritual works are going against what you believe in. The works that you've been doing, books that you've been writing, films that you've been creating, the imagination is very great. But when you don't have to know proof, like I said, the imagination can be very great. But if you don't got the proof then are those works that you've done really legit? Are they really 100% proof? Or are they really legit? Or is it just the imagination is great? Because I can tell you this, the spiritual battle is very well alive right now. And it's happening as I speak within the cryptid community. Like I said, these unseen forces that love chaos, that love drama, that love division, because that's how they get control over a whole world. Listen to me. That's how they're going to get control over a whole world when there's nothing but chaos and division. Before I go, when did that happen, brothers and sisters? For those who have the wisdom and knowledge, when did something like that happen? Where, well, I'm going to let you know. When somebody said, Heavenly Father, they don't know what they do. Don't do nothing to the people. They don't know nothing. They don't know what they do. How wouldn't they know what they're doing? Because that would mean that the people that are around that don't know what they're doing, that means that they were demonized through chaos, division, and havoc. And the person that was saying that was Jesus Christ, the one that sacrificed himself for us in order for us to be able to make it into the kingdom of heaven. That's why he says he don't know what they do, because they were being demonized by the demons. Yes, certain things can affect you. You can be, whether you're watching a movie, even like as I'm doing this video, but I'm speaking in truth. Pray before. Things like that can affect you if you're there witnessing somebody playing with a Ouija board. You can be affected by it. Going to a fortune teller can affect you by it. I'm going to tell you a story. I thought I was going to go, but I'm going to tell you another story. I was visiting I was with my mother. We were visiting. We were at a birthday party. We were playing on the trampoline, and we were tired of playing on the trampoline. All the women came out of this room, and they had told me not to go to that room. I didn't know what was going on there in the room or anything like that. So me, I was always hard-headed little kid. So every whooping I deserved, but I was always very curious. I could feel something. Look at that. I could feel something. My hair just stood up. Wait one, before I continue this. My spirit could sense something coming out of this little house, right? So I follow my spirit. Something is leading me, guiding me to go there. So I'm going there. At this time, I think I'm already like around 8 years old. So I go into this room, into this house, and I close the door. I walk in there, and I'm looking, and I could see like a chair and like a couch. What they were doing in there, they were praying for somebody, right? But I know exactly what they were doing in there. So as I'm inside in that room, I noticed something. I noticed dark figures. This room, this house, and nothing but glass all inside the house. It was surrounded with mirrors, with mirrors. There was mirrors everywhere. So as I'm looking, I hear something, and I look. I see something move within the mirror. Then I seen other things move within the mirror. Then they all start coming towards the mirror, and it's a bunch of them. Then I hear the door open, and my mom tells me to get out of there, and I get out of there. What I witnessed was unclean spirits, demonic spirits that were trapped in those mirrors that will use that room. So if somebody had an unclean spirit, for the spirit to leave out of that person to go into the mirror, that was a, how should I say, the the ultimatum that will give that unclean spirit that was affecting the person that they were praying for to go into the mirror. I witnessed that. No difference than when somebody is trying to cure somebody with an egg. You know, uh, they use the egg because the egg is something living. A mirror is an image of the person that they're healing on the chair, right? Well, the egg is something living, so they send the unclean spirit into the egg. No difference than the reflection of the person sitting on the chair onto the mirror. It makes the unclean spirit go into the mirror. So, not to scare you about, hey, cover up your mirrors in your house because there could something on be something in them. It's just that room. That's what they specifically use that room is to help people that were being demonically attacked or they have negative attachments, for those negative attachments to get transferred into the mirror. I got sick after that, in which they had to heal me, they had to cure me. Uh, the things that were happening with the mirrors, well, all I know is I was sick. I had a high fever. They brought this medicine woman. They were healing me, and on the glass where the egg yolk was, you could see my they could see my face. My face was a reflection of me inside the egg, and the reflection of me inside the egg was laughing at me and pointing at me. It was literally laughing and pointing at me while I was sick. That's what happened to me. That I got sick after I entered that room because of a negative attachment that jumped from that mirror onto me. I'm just letting you know that yes, to answer your question, yes, uh, you can be affected by it, brother, or blood of Jesus. Oh yeah, mirrors. You might run into an old Ouija board made out of wood. I was at a what do you call auction sale one day. The auction had finished, and then I seen this beautiful music box. Right, I see the music box. I buy it for I think it was $5. It was like had a ballerina. I took it home and I was excited because it was playing some beautiful music. So at nighttime, I place the little music box by my dresser and I go to sleep. When I wake up, I see this old Oriental woman with a lot of makeup and red lipstick on her face, and she's smiling at me. And she's by the music box. Man, the following day, I grabbed the music box. I said, look, you don't have to give me the money back. I just don't want this music box. I'm going to leave it here on the shelf. I'll put it on the shelf. I'll start walking away from it. The music box gets slung at me. And as it's flying, it lands right. It stops. It loses momentum because it's getting directed to hit me in the face, and it lands right in front of me. The lady from the auction place says, I guess somebody must not like you. So be careful when you go to garage sales, estate sales, auctions, because you don't know what kind of attachment those objects might have. Just like what happened to me. I ran into a lady She had bought a painting, and she said the painting came to life, and she got attacked by the painting of a woman. That the woman came out of the painting and got attacked. She had shown me some scratches, so she brought the painting back. She had bought the painting at a Goodwill, and she took it back. She didn't want to do nothing to do with it. So I would say, if you do buy something, well, cleans it, cleans whatever it is, uh, to get rid of whatever attachment it might have. You have to do that to get rid of if it's got an attachment, or if you're a renter, you go to a house, bless your home, cleans your home. This room, this home where I'm at right now, in this room, when I moved here, the first 2 days around my bed, I would hear somebody walking in slippers, and I could feel them touching me, touching my body around me. The first 2 days, I talked to the neighbor about the history of this home, and she told me this room where I live, that the person that lived there was very sick, and she passed away in this room. So what I did after that is I cleansed the home and told the spirit that was here that he had to leave, that it wasn't welcome here. And ever since that day, a lot of the activity that was happening the first 2 days stopped. But in this room where I'm making the video, that's where this woman died. But there's still times where I could hear the slippers walking around in the house. You know how slippers, they slide? Yeah, I can hear it sometimes. So I just do the sign of the cross, or I just don't worry about it. Oh yeah, they have a lot of creepy stuff at the Goodwills. you know, so I'm gonna tell you one more story before I go. This was even before the encounters of what happened with my son. My son was small. We went to a Goodwill store, bought him a little ninja costume, and the Goodwill that's in Harker Heights, Texas, used to have an area where they can open up the back and you can buy stuff real cheap. So as I was looking through the boxes, I found this old mask. They kind of looked like the mask from, should I say, like it looked like one of those wolves from Universal. What was it called? Dog soldiers. So I bought the mask real cheap, right? So in the area where I live in Elms Grove, go trick or treating. So I got the mask on, and my son's got a little ninja outfit, and I'm walking around, and all the kids are running away from me because I'm looking like the werewolf from the Dog Soldiers. That's how the mask looked, and it's one of those masks that looked like it came from those areas where they made like the costumes. It was real nice mask, So I'm walking around, and kids are just running around scared. But the crazy part about that is, after I wore that mask, it's when things started surfacing up. So it makes me wonder that if there's shapeshifter skinwalkers or demonic activity that's in the area, that when I had the mask on during Halloween, maybe they thought that I was one of them, because you hear it where they say throughout the centuries where some of these werewolf people, they look half human and the head of a wolf. Well, that's what I looked that day. So it's kind of like I had forgotten about the mask, but I remember that I got rid of it. And when I got rid of it, I threw it in the woods. I got rid of it in the woods because of the activity that was started happening after I wore that mask. So Sometimes we got to be careful of what we're worrying or what we're watching. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's video, brothers and sisters. Thank you all for tuning in. And for those that are going to view this video later on, like I said, I have so many stories, so many experiences, and I'm more sure that everybody has their own stories and experiences that they talk about within amongst family members. Me, I just try to put it into this platform so people could, to bring understanding to people of things like that some people do not talk about. I'm not just bring it up to light and just talk straight up about it. You're welcome, brother. Blood of Jesus. Yeah, I believe like Halloween, that's a pagan thing. People don't. There was one late night that I was watching PBS station, and they showed this old movie, and they showed this mountain, and said this is the mountain of the pagans, and then it said paganism, and I'm looking at it and I understand what it is about, and it's talking about the different levels that before somebody got sacrificed, there was different levels of stages on the mountain of the pagans that they had to go to certain things to be able to make it to the top of the mountain where people got sacrificed. So if that was about sacrifice and people were walking around in costume dressed as celebrating paganism, well, what are we really celebrating if they had to go to different levels and on the very top they sacrifice a person? So what are we really doing for those who celebrated Halloween? What is are there are there because that's where Halloween came from, paganism. What are we really celebrating? Is the Halloween get up? I know they were dressed for Halloween in those outfits because of the they said that Halloween is when the demons come out or the devils. So people would dress up like that to blend in with the demons and the devils and stuff like that, right? So they just to let you know what Halloween is about, in which that could be a whole different conversation we can have one day. Halloween, October, there's a lot of blood sacrifices, witch rituals, warlock rituals. There's a whole different story. But anyways, God bless everybody that tuned in. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed evening. Peace, everyone.